Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back from New York City. It's currently approaching 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful Tuesday evening wherever you are currently in the world. Right now we're about to approach the last match of the evening, and to recap what has happened so far, let's take a look. Minigun with a 2-0 over Top, followed by State with a 2-0 over Xenocider. In the winner's match, we have Minigun versus State. It was a very entertaining PvP. One of those matches you definitely want to check out on the VODs. Minigun taking the 2-1 victory to qualify for WCS America Season 2 Premier League. And of course, in the fourth match, we just had Top 2-0 Xenocider and another very entertaining series. Unfortunately for Xenocider, he will be out of WCS America. We're going to have to try to requalify through the Challenger League qualifiers. But of course, we're about to head into the last match of the night. It's going to be State versus Top for a chance to see who's going to advance the Challenger and who's going to advance the Premier.
And you know what's interesting is Top is a very aggressive player, but State shows great poise in his early game PvP. If we notice his games against Minigun, he always just controlled the early game so well. He even won the one game on World very quickly. Yes, with his guy nerfed by Minigun, but he knew exactly how to exploit it.
Right.
Of course, on the third game against Minigun, he went for the one base build and didn't work.
Yeah.
But I don't think Top's going to do the fast expansion style that we saw at Minigun. So it's a very different style of Protoss he's up against.
All right, the first map of this final best of 3. It's going to be on Axelav Wastes. A very important best of 3 again to determine who's going to Premier League Season 2 and who's going to Challenger League Season 2. In the bottom right-hand location, I present to you your blue Protoss player who took down Xenocider in his first match of the evening, but then fell to Minigun in a very narrow 2-1 loss. Now he finds himself in the last match of the night. Representing Gamefront, he is State. Ryan Inspect. Really cool guy. And if you ever have a chance to meet him, he will answer all your questions. Very nice, classy guy too. I remember Shoutcraft interviewing both State and Kane. State refusing to trash talk. Very classy individual. His opponent in the top left-hand location, once again on the top side of the map, Mr. Nick. I'm not lying. You looked at me funnily. I said that he was in the top of the map.
I believe you.
I can read you. If we played poker, I would take all your money. I can read you that well.
We'll see. One day you may get your wish, my friend.
The red Protoss player, hailing from China, representing Team Zenith of Origin. He is Top.
So, on this map, when State played Minigun, they both went for 1-gate expansions, which is kind of interesting. And one other thing I noticed, I actually want to point out, when Top played Minigun, he did the same thing with his first pylon and gateway. If you get a shot of his base there, he kind of walls off that left side.
Interesting.
And he did the exact same positioning against Minigun as well. And I'm trying to think, is that there's some potential cannon rushes that can be annoying, and he's trying to make it harder to do those, or I don't actually. I mean, why not, right? It doesn't make
when you put your buildings on the edge of a cliff, it makes the units inside much more dangerous when they come out.
This is true. Yeah,
because there's always a risk that they'll come out of the wrong side of the gateway and they'll topple off the cliff.
So they're
much more
prepared.
Yeah. Not sure what the exact word is.
As they're being trained, they have to learn caution.
Exactly.
And discipline.
Yes. Perfect.
It also is a little bit further away from your opponent's base, so Observer, Hallucinating Fiend Scout might be a little bit, takes an extra second or two to get to the back there. Cool little addition there. Going up to second gate, and State is getting a sentry, so definitely very defensive minded play from State. Top, I would not be surprised to see him at a third gate and go for that 3-gate pressure build he tried against Minigun on this map, in which didn't really work out against the force fields. But with the amount of chrono boost he has saved up, it really looks like he wants to try to execute that build again.
All right. We're getting on the way for both these two guys. A faster Mothership Core here for Top. And there's a Mothership Core from State. Getting it a little bit later. And this looks like an expansion build here from State.
It is second sentry on the way. He's going to throw down that Nexus. And this is a build that can be pretty tricky against some of this gateway pressure, specifically the gateway pressure Top is doing, because Top is going to hit before Nexus completes. Once Nexus completes, of course, you have Photon Overcharge, you'll be fine. And it's going to be almost impossible for State to hold his expansion. That being said, you can lose expansion and still be fine. As long as you don't let him up the ramp, as long as you hit the force fields well, you're going to be in equal economy. And tech-wise, you might even be slightly ahead. We can see Robo's already on the way for state, and Top hasn't started any tech yet.
Continuing to chrono boost the Cybercore. Probe getting very close, going to place that pylon just outside the natural expansion state. Very cautious. Of course, it's the wise decision not to go down the ramp here, keeping the 2 sentries on the top. And let's see how he reacts to
Station
this.
Moser reports is out of position. State wants to have either 3rd sentry or a stalker, so he can keep the militia port bay. He got hit the force field. State!
No force fields. The stalker's just going to charge up the ramp. The force fields finally go down, but 2 sentries might fall. Oh no!
Yeah, I mean, a 3rd sentry's gonna fall. You know,
what was he? He
just wasn't looking. He wasn't looking. It's that simple. I actually lost the same way at that local LAN tournament.
Oh, did you?
Game 2 against Shu. Sometimes you're just not paying attention, and now I mean, yeah, most of the core can't even get to Photon.
That pylon is gonna be unpowered too.
You warp in 2 zealots. That's nice, but the moral, even if the moral gets out, it would be focused down immediately.
One of those games where if you're not watching the ramp, things can get out of control very quickly.
I mean, his natural was going to die no matter what there, but he could have been totally fine force fielding the ramp.
Yeah.
Maybe he would have been contained, but he could either go straight to Colossi, he did Robotech, he could have done a Warp Prism counter. He had plenty of options. He wasn't out of the game if he hit the force field. So just,
yeah, it happens. Those games happen. The question is, can State recover? And can he win 2 in a row here? Top on the verge of advancing to WCS America Premier League Season 2. Stay tuned. He's 1 win away. Game 2 between State and Top coming up.